Hi, this is Katie Oshiwanita with Harmonizing Journey to Realignment Seminar and Sessions. It's good to be back. See you all again. The topic today is the Krystl-a, KRYS-THL A, an HJR insight. The Krystl-a, the 12 oral legions. Okay. The Krystl-a represents the 7 sacred audible core creation sound tones of this 15-dimensional time matrix of KRYS-THL A. The term was used to describe the collective body of the 12 CD-plates oral legions that were recently brought back by ashayana Dean, currently now Arhayas Productions, as you can either say Keylonta or Keylontic Science. The oral legions embodied the science of ascension through our 15-dimensional time matrix. These ascensions teachings also included the true law of one doctrine. Each CD plate was connected to an angelic Magi Grail human tribe who were souls seeded from the sphere of Amenti, right? We've been talking about that, which were souls that came from our cataclysmic Earth's harmonic universe to Terra, Alcyon, many times referred to as heaven, or the plane of soul, about 25 million to 5,500,000 years ago. Numbers. Each angelic human tribe was connected to the assimilation and healing of a DNA strand and its corresponding dimensional stargate, chakra, signet, exotonal line of this 15-dimensional time matrix due to damage that had occurred a very long time ago to our time matrix. These tribes were collectively known as the 12 legions of the Krystl-a. Each tribe was responsible for the CD plate connected to their particular evolutionary development. These cloistered oratory plates are digitally coded spherical metallic discs of Keylonta information of the history and Templar mechanics of creation of our current 15-dimensional time matrix. The rudimentary way of explaining it is that the process is similar to downloading someone's memory into a computer and then burning it on a disk. Okay, this disk can then be reloaded via Keylonta technology into specialized cellular human-coded brains. These specialized humans are called speakers, who were and are indigos that at certain times come in threes from the Rishi collective of the Elohai Elohim Melchizedek Cloister Emerald Order Holy Order of the Unified Sacred House of One of our primal light and sound fields of dimensions 13, 14, 15, and also referred to by Seth Roberts as the spirit family of the Sumari. Okay. These particular speakers had birthed in simultaneously different time vectors, first starting with CD plate 1, then that corresponded to tribe 1, when the particular tribe had evolved enough to downstep the Keylonta coded information into Earth's grids during certain types of planetary cycles that connected to all other simultaneous time vectors, creating easier access to the full planetary Templar. Remember that time is an outer domain construct that gives the universal mind of the infinite creator, quote unquote, the illusion of action, the movement of events happening, and the quote unquote feeling of moving through time. This creates the experience of quote unquote manifest solid carbon-based reality of density 1 all the way up to the cloud, vapor, silica gas of the rishi of density 5 of the outer domains within the unified internal, eternal domains of Source One Spirit of the Krysthl-a, Maharata, D12 Avatar, and Melchizedek Ra of our 15-dimensional time matrix. Past, present, and future are all happening within the spacious eternal now. Also, keep in mind, there are many billions upon billions of realms or cosmayas of reality other than our 15-dimensional matrix. Yet, within our internal eternal matrix construct, they all follow the same basic Keylonta mechanics within the Stairway to Heaven construct. The process of downstepping is very much like electrical relay system, where the 13th dimensional Rishi Melchizedek Cloister Emerald Order Guardian inserts the disc into the mental brain construct relayed through the multidimensional Cathara grid structure into the speaker, who, again, energy lines and energy centers, who is taking the full load of the information into the coded cellular density 1 structure. For if the full brunt of the coded information was directly run into the planetary grids, the grids would shut down naturally to keep from overloading and blowing up. By first reloading into a specialized indigo human that can hold the frequency charge of the information, then through certain types of rituals, including dancing and singing of certain sound tones, the whole tribe would break the coded information into bite-sized pieces for the grid's absorption. The first 3 tribes are responsible, or I should say more like were responsible, for DNA strands 1 through 3, which comprise harmonic universe 1, Earth plane, and the corresponding stargates, chakras, signets, and axiatonal lines. These 3 tribes are families of nations, are located in the Americas and surrounding areas. By the way, this completely blows the New World narrative that is being perpetrated by Western civilization. Okay, so according to Voyagers 2, The Secrets of Amenti by ashayana on page 531, Tribe 1, original, we're talking about our first 3 tribes. So Tribe 1, original blue and green-eyed Australian Aboriginal, often red-haired, connected to the Antarctica region, because we're talking, Stargate 1 is basically in Antarctica. Tribe 2, Florida, Seminole Native American, Sarasota, Florida, and Brunaway, dark-complected and brown-skinned Haitian, Bimini Island races who also happen to be of Mua of Lemuria, Hawaii, Easter Island, and southwestern Native American descendant tribes, also known as the original Hebrew, or the original Hebrew, more accurate, Hibiru, Hibiru, Cloister, and Melchizedek Cloister hybrid, races of Jerusalem and Jordan. Not what we are told it is, right? This would correlate with who we know as the Moabite or Moor. Okay, and then Tribe 3, Nhasa, Atlantis, Bermuda Islands, Johannesburg, South Africa, dark-complected, brown and pale-skinned Druidics of Nhasa, Atlantis. So we have some pale skin in there too. All right. thanks to the powerfully strong root races, the 12 tribes could be seeded within their particular time vector into the Earth's grids. Remember, it's all simultaneously throughout time, right? All done at the same time. So the time vectors. Okay. So into Earth's grids and their corresponding CD plate codes for all of humanity to evolve back to our full potential within the 15-dimensional time matrix. Okay. In every three-dimensional harmonic universe density plane, the number 2 dimension or second dimension in each domain, Stargate tribe is the controller for that system. So in our current Earth density 1 harmonic universe tribe 2, the Burnaway, dark-skinned, and brown copper-skinned Haitian Bimini Island of the Mu'a of Lemuria peoples of the Americas, who later became Moabites, Mu'ers, Moors, or what later became the Moorish Empire, were key controllers of the planetary Templar of the Earth. Florida, Sarasota, that's in that area, that's Stargate 2 area. Tribes 1 and 3 probably interbred with Tribe 2 to strengthen the Earth Templar. These 3 tribes later evolved with the other 9 tribes as the Earth grids built up quantum to handle the higher DNA-stranded tribes grounded by the first 3 root races. These root races have continued to be heavily melanated to downstep and ground higher frequencies into the Earth plane Templar. This is why they have been known as the chosen ones, or actually the true chosen ones. This is also why we are finding signs of the Moorish culture all around the world as well. Some of you know I was kind of into that for a bit, but I've kind of learned a little bit of variations on the Moorish thing. It's not quite as coolio as I thought it was, but anyway, it's okay. All right, the New World creation. Why have there been attempts at erasing the Moorish Mu'er ancient cultures, right? Why are we not running around, or should I say flying around at this point, as fully functioning 12-stranded avatars? One of the many reasons is that the Annu-Elohim of the Annu-Melchezidek Mar engineered the Anunnaki Avengers of the Anu, which I've talked about quite a bit before, race in retaliation for ancient grudge. Our beloved Annu-Elohim, or gods of old, had much to be angry and resentful for from ancient pre-Earth days. Okay. Bearing in mind the time frame that we are typically given, as you know, is completely inaccurate of how old this planet is, and how old we are as angelic humans, by the way. These Annu-Elohim, who are directly related to the Arhayas Elohim of the Melchizedek Cloister Emerald Order, Angelic Human lineage, realized the error of their ways and wanted to heal the distortions to their race template DNA codes for the choices they made over many millennia. Okay, this is very, very ancient old story. The great love, okay, for the illuminated ones by the Melchizedek Cloister Emerald Order through genetic engineering had created during the third seeding the human hybrid groups via the Treaty of the El Anu to become the Annu-Melchezidek, who are also known as the Yaqub Jacob biblical story of the 12 lost tribes of Israel fame, not to be confused with the actual 12 legions, Magi Grail lines. As far as I can tell from Steiner's work, the biblical Genesis story is the Annu-Melchizedek. That's the impression I'm getting. Which is part of that Yaqub story, but there's actually another component I'll be talking about in a moment about that, a little bit more of the hybrids as well. And this is not, per se, in a lab thing. This is not on a 3D level, all right? So make sure you all know this is not 3D genetic engineering. Okay. Not that that didn't occur, just not by the guardians in this respect. This was an evolutionary change over time of introducing certain back the organic codes, original codes. Again, over many centuries, many of these hybrid tribes were infiltrated by the avenging Anunnaki, who were jealous of what was being done for their Anu family and had long ago had their genetics altered, disconnecting them from their own eternal being. I talked a little bit more in detail about that in the Quest of Voyagers book in particular. Gets in very good detail about that. This particular faction later became known as the Templar Melchizedek race. Okay, I'm talking about the fallen ones, the compromised ones. The compromised Anu are the Templar Melchizedek. Because again, it's still the Elohim, right? But there's a division in the hereditary evolution. Okay, so they started out as their own Anu-Elohim hybrid race with other alien races, such as Zetas and Draconians being overtaken by the Anunnaki Raider races, such as the Luciferic, as an example. Luciferian Covenant. Okay. Over many generations, they raided certain human Magi hybrid groups to create the Draco that we were DRACO that we refer to as the current Raider Illuminati Cabal Legion Controller bloodline races. Okay, which actually still kind of includes the Moors, right? Anything with bloodline controllers base their identity on where their bloodline is. Not who they are as source, not who they are as spirit, but their bloodline. Okay. Right. Under the Treaty of the El Anu, laws were set up for these hybrids to live by until they matured enough to be a law upon themselves. These Templars eventually took over the enforcement of the treaty as they took more responsibility and, frankly, control over the Earth's Templar. And I think that's, again, when they became more infiltrated. I would say, and you could add a lot more to it, off the top. Examples of this El Anu treaty could be Treaty of Peace and Friendship. It had to do with our origins of our Constitution in the Americas, where the first 3 tribes evolved initially, or that basic area. Because Americas is North, Central, and South America. Okay. So we have the Treaty of Peace and Friendship, the 10 Commandments, again, that Jewish kind of thing. The Circle 7 Quran, the Allah, and many ancient texts on the fall of man becoming whole again. Okay, all these texts focus on the human being compromised at some level and how to get back out of that. Basically, we can all play nicely together as mature, responsible beings. Believe it or not, we can do it. It can happen. It ain't by government control, though. Unfortunately, due to the renegade bloodline running through these Templars, they could not work through their patriarchal, elitist subjugation of anyone and anything they saw as beneath them. Sound familiar? And it's not a gender thing, okay? This is a coding thing, by the way. In other words, it's really huge, self-important ego. They are the ones who coined the phrase chosen ones. We would have never, as Angelic Humans, come up with that, but that's theirs. And they like to switch places a few different times. And have been manipulating who breeds with whom for a very long time. This is why the focus is on separating the nations or racist mindset. For really, the actual goal of the 12 legions, of the 12 legions, tribes, was to heal the 12-stranded DNA matrix. meaning becoming one nation that can take their place in the galactic arena. All right? Not to say there will not be different tribes, communities, for variety. Variety is the name of the game. But all still follow basic values. Okay? And we're not talking the one world order here. We're not talking the one world order. This is different. These Templar hybrids are part of the family. Okay? They still are. They're still Elohim. They're still Elohim, okay, the founders of that particular line of the founders. They are part of Earth's purpose of being a healing system. They hold many keys to all our own evolutions, okay? It just always seems they're a part of the whole situation that we're involved with. Can't dissect them out. These controlling Templars' influence was so great they established what we now know as our current Western feudal Magna Carta European white supremacy civilization. That's my opinion. The term Moor, or Moabite, relates more to the Annu-Melchezideks, who eventually took over the Lemuria, or Tarantus is Atlantis. Two different lines of the original, actually, Terra density 2 expression of what became the Angelic Human. Brenaway, when I say Urtites, Brenaway, okay? Breanoua of the Angelic Human, Magi Grail lineage. All are Melchizedek 12-stranded capable. But at this point, they are both still under the current Templar Roman White House and the Moorish Red House rulership. These are two hybrid controller bloodline systems working to have control over the planetary Templar. Yet, the true advanced civilizations of the angelic Krysthl-a, human, Magi Grail lines, through forced breeding and mass genocide became lost, along with much of their cellular memory of who they are. Today, most of them are known in America as Blacks, Negroes, and Hispanics. And actually, just sort of an added little tidbit is in the work that I do in the pod space, the Crystal Caverns and Urea Earth and Alhambra and all those different, clans, we actually did a nice little upgrade and reinstating, in a sense, the Brenaway lineage. They asked for help. So we'll see how that pans out. If that was actually really real, it wasn't in our imaginations when we did it. So we'll kind of see. To this day, pure Annu-Melchizedek lineages are holding their 12-stranded capabilities. Most indigos, starseeds, and crystal children have been birthed into these bodies. Many are indigenous to the Americas. And another little added bit, I'm coming to have the feeling that what we coin as starseeds is actually seeding one souls. That when that seeding crashed, many of them left to different star systems. And at this particular time in evolution, they have to come back because they still have a portion of their genetic coding in the Earth's grids, and they have to do certain things. And when they talk about these dragon eggs, I have a feeling some of those dragon eggs are codes for them to come back and get reinstated so that they can actually ascend out properly. Okay. But that's totally my opinion with the research and work that I've been doing. So take it or leave it. Okay. Many are, okay, so talking about the Annu-Melchizedek's lineage, many are indigenous to the Americas. They tend to be lighter skinned than the original angelic human tribes, but they hold genetic code the full 12-stranded DNA. They are part of the evolution of the 5th root race as well, because as we got higher in coding, we didn't have to have the darker skin. We could have the lighter skin as higher frequency. Not that they're lower frequency, they're actually higher, the first 3 tribes, to be able to have the ability to ground higher frequency means they are higher beings, okay? There's just difference in the coding and genetics, okay? And I would say 80% of most human biology currently combines Annu-Melchezidek with some angelic magi grail and others, such as Zeta draconian, I should say, and a Adrami hybrid, and probably more. That's got to be the basic. Okay. Crescent and the cross. How the Krysthl-a became the polarized Allah and Christ, or crescent and the cross. The CDT-plates were hidden in various places to keep the knowledge away from the Templars, who now had the codes, right, because they had the D12 capability through hybridization over generations. But they hadn't wakened up enough to use them properly, and they still had the compromised coding, Annu coding in them as well, that they were trying to work through and work out. As the Raiders, right, that we've been talking about, weren't part of the original hybridization program, holding the full distortions. So as these Raiders had manipulated the planetary Templar, the word Krysthl-a, K-R-Y-S-T-H, wait, KRYS-THL A. In later, okay, that word. In later historical mistranslations of the 12 oral CD plates, fragmented it and polarized into first the Krystl, K-R-Y-S-T, in the Krystl code, and I had heard Steiner reference Krystl, that spelling of Krystl, a few different times, which later became the dogmatized, and then later even more became the dogmatized Christ, C-H-R-I-S-T, and then the HL-A part of that original word later became translated as Allah, okay? Arm, leg, arm, no, yeah. Arm, leg, arm, head. Okay. The creation of the Angelic Human. Okay. During the different periods after the inception of the 12 oral CDT plates on Earth, portions of the information on the 12 plates were reorganized and reconstructed, or legions. Eventually, the word went from legion to religion, as it pertained to different dialects throughout the Earth's plane. These 12 angelic human religions were unique yet complementary because they retained the same Keylonta root knowledge. Okay. Sadly, as these Templar Illuminati Raider hybrid races became established, they further degenerated the doctrines to become the current male god control dogma. Really butchered the hell out of the first Bible as well as kind of the second, but really the first Bible got totally. Actually, that was the first Bible was printed in fairly recent history. I think after the second Bible was actually put together. So it was really booger-doodle. Not that it doesn't have lots of good information, but you gotta decipher the codes of it. Okay, yeah, okay. I'll just read that sentence over again. So they further degenerated the doctrines to become the current male control dogma, polarizing the division of Christ, and HLA to Allah. We could also call this division, and again, it's the difference in the two empires, which I think is interesting. Right? The White House versus the Red House, the Roman Empire versus the Moorish. I mean, it's these two divisions are kind of Lemuria, Atlantis. It still plays on the what would be more the kind of Lemuria would embrace more of the matriarchal. I don't think I'm saying it right, but I can't keep repeating it. Of the Krysthl-a, of the ere, of the female energies, magnetic frequency, and the the Allah, and then the Krystl would be more the Atlantean energy, more of the Krysthl-a or Krystl energy, and Manet energy of the electrical light, outer expression energy. So again, we would also call this division the Order of Islam, or in Islam is actually I, self, law, am, master. Okay. And then again, I already said what Allah was. And the Roman Empire, Templar, Annu-Melchezidek, Christ, and Mary. So that's their version of kind of putting the light and sound together, bringing in the Mary, or the Maris, or the navigators. Okay, the original navigators. Okay, just kind of a side note. There were two Christs. I just wanted to, because I'm kind of, in a sense, sort of, when I'm putting Templar, Annu-Melchezidek with Christ and Mary, sort of trashing Christ and Mary. So I just wanted to say, just as an aside, there were two genuine organic Angelic Human type Christ. And we reference them as one as Jeshua 12, being 12 stranded, true Magi Grail, and Jeshua 9, which actually was an Anunnaki, full Anunnaki avatar. And actually, the one that we have in Bible 2 is the New Testament, Old Testament, Old Testament, New Testament. Actually, is the one we know of for the most part in the writings of the New Testament. But there are interlacing pieces of Jeshua 12. They each brought back the original Oral Legion doctrines in their own way, or at least what they could. Jeshua 12 saved the human race by bringing back Jeshua 12, bringing back our Biveka code into the Earth's grids for D12 Earth ascension. Because by the point of that time period when the two came in, which was way after Atlantis, when Atlantis fell, we went from being a base 12 to a base 10 planet. This was a step towards becoming a base 12 planet again. Okay. All right. And we are at our summary. In summary, Allah and Christ have pure, authentic Krysthl-a roots that over time became fragmented. The Angelic Human, the Annu-Melchezidek, and other lineages have become so interbred that we have become one biological race, really, for the most part. The soul, on the other hand, is another story. We are made up of many soul collectives, okay, all working to put Humpty Dumpty pieces back together again, okay, because we've been very fragmented. Keylontic Science, Seth Material, and Anthroposophy are great teachings for putting the pieces back together. How all the different lineages of the all that is can learn to play nicely together, and once again for everyone to be laws unto themselves. Personally, I recommend first, of course, learning the foundation teachings of Keylontic Science. Then incorporate the other two to flesh out the full picture. That's what I found for me at any rate. It was very helpful. South by Jane Roberts, too, is actually very helpful. Harmonizing Journey to Realignment Seminar and Sessions is committed to the restoration and full embodiment of who we are as God Source First Eternal Ah-yah A'ya of the Krysthl-a within the current 15-dimensional time matrix and beyond for the upliftment of all life everywhere. And I have 2 free introductory Keylontic Science class recordings are available in the HJR Seminars page on my website. I also have private HJR sessions are also available utilizing the science behind the mechanics of manifestation. And also upcoming is this month is a Harmonizing Journey to Realignment Q&A via Zoom on Saturday, March 23rd at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and 8 p.m. UK time. So if you can kind of figure your time wherever you're at can fit in that. If you have been attending our Harmonizing Journey with Keylonta Juanita group sessions and or HJR Insight Post and are interested in learning more, I look forward to seeing you. Okay. I will have down below, if you're on YouTube, the link for the Zoom link. Also, we'll be including down below, the HJR Introductory PDF, which I usually, if you've been doing the Harmonizing Journey or with Keylonta Juanita, you should already have that, but kind of really read it all the way through if you haven't before. Particularly, it has a Q&A section or not a Q&A, frequently asked questions section. So kind of going over those questions, and then I have a little introductory part about me. So you can, if you have any questions of that information, clarification, or just other questions that you may have, or you just want to chit chat, that would be awesome, you know. Oh, and I also, please subscribe, please like, please share, please comment on what you thought of the information. And I had, for the source and inspiration for this article, Introduction Topic Summary 1, Historical Origin of the MCO Teachings by ashayana Arhayas, previously Dean, Speaker 1, pages 5 and 6 of that document. Please check out Arhayas Productions for information on the freedom teachings and the current Tantra or Tantra teachings that go beyond our 15-dimensional time matrix. And I will include her link to that. Also, I'll include the link to purchase the Voyagers 2 Secrets of a Mentee, in which you actually can get both books now. And then I had also gotten some information from insights from R.V. Bay Publications for more information on who the Moors really are and what they are labeled as now under the Black Codes of the Society of the Cross, KKK Clan, Jesuit Order. Y'all aren't black. That's a construct that's meant to take you away from who you are. Okay, so with much love, with much, I can't say this, with much love and peace, Keylonta Juanita, thank you so much. I think I got everything covered. I'll have links for everything in below. And again, please like, share, subscribe if you haven't, comment. I'll get back to you, and love you. Bye.